Hey, Emmy, you're good with words, right?
Spelling? No. General word use and etymology? Yeah, I use the dictionary. Like everyone else does, I presume, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, why?
I was just wondering, why is it Derby and not Derby?
Okay, so you're saying Derby, like Furby, or Kirby.
Well, I mean, that's a U and an I. That's like a completely different sort of kettle of fish. You know, we're talking about Derby, Derby.
So yes, it's Derby.
Okay, why is it Derby?
Guess it's time to pull out the dictionary. Etymology Escapades with Emmalena.
And sometimes Sam.
Based on true conversations I have with my partner and occasionally with my friends. So before we begin, based on what I've always been told is polite, I want to address the elephant in the room. You know, because he's our house guest.
Do we have to?
Well, yes, it's polite to.
But he just sits there and doesn't do anything.
He doesn't even pay rent.
Lucky for some.
So, when you're referring to Derby, the way you were originally saying it, it's only used as a meaningful type of hat.
Right.
But this hat was usually a Victorian-style hat, and it's not worn so much anymore. Although, around the peak of the 1850s and 1870s, it was very popular around riding. Which is why I think the word Derby might also relate to Derby races, like Kentucky Derbies and similar sort of events.
So could you have a Derby Derby or a Derby Derby or Derby Derby?
I don't know what you said, Sam, but I think we're getting off track.
No, it makes perfect sense. You have a Derby for Derbies or a Derby for Derbies. It's perfect. It's a perfectly cromulent sentence.
Who's listening to this, Sam?
I mean, I assume people are, or potentially dolphins.
No.
No?
No.
Not at all?
I haven't made this in supersonic.
Ah, you see, that I think was a mistake. We should do a high frequency version of this.
I don't have the capacity to speak dolphin.
No?
I don't think so, Sam, no.
Right, okay, so, where were we again?
On to the serious topics of conversation. Derby, or Derbyshire, is a town and county in England. It comes from the Old English, Derby, which is spelt D for Delta, E for Echo, O for Oscar, R for Romeo, B for Bravo, and Y for Yankee. It means deer village, from deer, D-E-O-R, which is pronounced and meaning deer. You know, like the animal.
So, no, hang on. What then constitutes a deer? Because they must have kind of set up this village, looked around, and they saw these things. They're like, that over there, that is a deer, for we shall be the deer village. So, how did they, identify these deers? Did they require passports or visas?
Imagine a bunch of deers at customs.
I mean, would a driving license be a suitable ID for a deer?
In modern times, I presume, yeah.
I mean, at least with photo ID, you'd be able to get drinks for a stag do, I suppose.
But and that is the peak of comedy on this channel. But yeah, the meaning of the word deer, presume you want to know where that came from too, right?
I mean, at this point, we are trying to ascertain
what quantifies a deer,
Yeah,
what
what
qualifies a deer, what essentially, in essence, for dictionary's sake, is a deer.
Yeah.
Well, a deer in Old English terms, D-E-O-R, is a quadruped.
A quadruped?
Yes, any wild animal, beast, any wild quadruped.
But, hang on. A quadruped is just a four-legged creature, right?
Yeah, a four-footed animal, specifically a four-footed mammal.
So a dog would be a deer.
What?
So, look, it's a quadruped mammal, ergo, it's a deer.
No.
What about sheep? They have four legs.
Sam.
What about bears? Oh no.
What kind of bears?
I mean, I suppose with bears, they have the sort of they can stand up on their hind legs and, they use their front paws to like almost as hands. So do those count as feet or are they hands?
I don't know any bears with hands. And even teddy bears don't have hands, or I wouldn't have any. God, that's terrifying.
It's a terrifying prospect, isn't it? So we're calling bears four-legged.
Yes.
So bears are deers.
Oh dear.
Right, so four-legged bear. Lion, that's a deer. A pig, that's a deer. A zebra,
No,
that'd be a
sir.
stripy. No. A zebra's a stripy deer, and a cheetah would just be a zoomy deer. And
Zoomy spotty deer. Let's be clear here, dear.
yeah, exactly. So everything is a deer.
Even a duck-billed platypus.
I mean, they are classed as mammals, but they do lay eggs.
Yeah, they've still got 4 legs.
So yeah, jury declares they are a deer. So we can basically conclude that most mammals are deer. Well, I mean, whales and dolphins don't count as deer.
But sharks do.
No. Sharks don't have legs. At least not in this sort of reality, they don't.
Yeah, I know. But I've only told you about the Old English origin. In Middle English, which is how it evolved, a deer also relates to fish. Ergo, shark. Ergo, deer.
No. That's ridiculous.
And ants, too.
Okay. Who on earth extended deer to mean fish? And specifically ants?
Well, I guess we'll just have to blame Geoffrey Chaucer.
I blame him for many things. I've never read the Canterbury Tales, but I still blame him for it. So I'm just going to add this onto the list of things I blame him for.
And this is why we don't talk about etymology at home.
You know, we don't really talk about entomology that often either, do we?
I think that's because it bugs you more than I can put into words.
You went there. It's like the oldest joke in the world.
And yet, you love it anyway.
It's a good joke.
Yep.
Anyway.
What did you learn, Sam?
Everything is a deer.
No.
Okay, almost everything is a deer. Including ants. And fish.
And that, my friends, is how you make a very crowded village in the north of England.
They do things differently up there.
Oh dear. Thanks for joining us on the new adventures of Etymology Escapades. I'm hoping this will be a semi-regular series in which Sam and I reflect on our many serious conversations. You know, because I think it's very important that we tackle the important meanings of English words. Right?
You know what? This tea is lukewarm. Hey, do you know what? If it can be lukewarm, can it be luke hot?
Not this again. See you next time, everyone.